Running for president was never easy, but it became a well-oiled machine way back at the end of the 19th century. The modern campaign as we know it, carefully planned, technologically savvy, and well-funded, was created by William McKinley and Marcus Hanna of Ohio. Although Hanna would eventually become a United States Senator, his real love was campaign strategy. Working together, McKinley and Hanna engineered McKinley's successful 1896 presidential campaign.
Well, look, before 1896, if you were running for your party's nomination, particularly on the Republican side, you left your fate in the hands of friends, was the phrase. And what that meant was you didn't do anything. And you let somebody sort of take the lead for you, and you sort of got your home state for you, and you tried to get a couple of other states to be sort of inclined towards you. But nobody went to the convention with the majority of the delegates. But in 1895, 1894, 1893, somewhere during that time, these very methodical men, William McKinley and Mark Hanna, say we're going to do it differently. What we're going to do is we're going to systematically organize every state we can organize. And our object will be at the county, district, and state conventions to have McKinley men dominate the process, and at the end of it, at the state conventions and district conventions, to nominate delegates to the National Convention who are instructed to support McKinley. And we're going to be methodical about this. All these favorite sons get sidelined because McKinley goes in and methodically organizes their state. And this is the mindset of McKinley and Hanna, who both evince this in McKinley in the law and in the Congress, and Hanna in his business practices. They're methodical, they organize, they plan ahead, they know what they want to do, and then they have a plan and execute it.
They used telephones, mass mailings, and the best printing technologies, as well as careful branding strategies of McKinley and negative branding of McKinley's opponent, William Jennings Bryan, to win the election.
McKinley wins by modernizing and broadening the Republican Party. He's the first Republican to ever be endorsed by a member of the Catholic hierarchy. And when he brings Croatian miners and Portuguese fishermen and Ukrainian tailors and Scandinavian farmers to Canton, this is not done by Republicans. But what he was saying was, I have a vision of the future of the country and there's a place for you. So broadening the party was a smart move. He also did it without sacrificing principle. In fact, he does it by engaging on principle, and he succeeds at it. But he broadens the party by carrying the message to every community in the country. I mean, they have 250 million pieces of literature in at least 14 languages, and for every one of those languages, there's a group of Germans or Jews or Swedes or Norwegians or Italians or Spaniards who are all out there working on behalf of McKinley in their communities. And he doesn't tear down Bryan. He doesn't go after him personally. Instead, what he attempts to say is that we're all in this together, and I respect you, and I respect your community. And this is an enormously powerful message. This is called one of the great 5 realigning elections in American history. The politics that existed beforehand is enormously different afterwards, and it's because McKinley modernizes the Republican Party. It is no longer in the North the white Anglo-Saxon Protestant Party, and now in the nearly 40 years that follow, it is a frothy coalition of not only the old Republican Party, but of new recent immigrants to the country who are coming from Eastern and Central and Southern Europe and Scandinavia, who were not here during the Civil War and are not bound up with all the battles of the Civil War. It's industrial workers, it's Catholics, it's working class people. And this coalition exists for the next 36 years, and it dominates American politics. And the only way it's ended is by the Great Depression, and the only way it's weakened during that period is when the Republicans split among themselves.